as a means of communication. So you can send your questions. I will answer them as they come. Let's make some silence first. I will make a comment on this now. So the last satsang, I received an answer from what I was talking about, and I mentioned that it was kind of an insurance. And the comment was, no, it's not about insurance. These questions just exposing my fear of samsara. Well, uh, if it is not about insurance, so what does it have to do with fear? So if fear is there of mixing with wrong teacher, so asking about the teacher, trying to know, and I don't even like this word teacher. I already said that, but okay, let's use it for the sake of amusement. So trying to know something about the teacher and all these things, isn't this about insurance? Of course it is. But this is just one way of seeing these things, because there is other things which are much more important in this question. See? So previously, there was the fear of going towards a master and of not being accepted. This was the first, this was put this way. Then I clarified that if the seeker has what it takes, if it is humble, if he is humble at least, then he has a pretty good chance. So from being afraid, paralyzed by the idea of not being accepted by the master, you jump to the other extreme and try to judge and evaluate the master to see if it fits. So what is this? Moving from one side to the other. This is protecting its own reality. It doesn't matter what the excuse is. It's just about protecting and remaining idle, motionless, and protecting that which is precious. So this is the thing. You see, and what comes as what comes as, how do you say this? What is the word in English? Humility. What comes as humility because of low self-esteem, it's not really humility yet, because it's like a coin with two sides. One, there is humility, lowering himself because I'm not good enough. And from the other side, there is the opposite stance, because it is like a fight. Arrogance is pronounced so that it can balance that low self-esteem. And they flip continuously depending on the circumstance. But in this case, it was about protecting what is there. So there is a problem in mixing with wrong teacher because, how to say this, 12,000 years in samsara, guaranteed. Teacher, false teacher will put you in 12,000 years of recycle hell. Never heard that one. But still, remaining still and protecting your reality, that doesn't bother you that much, because I can guarantee you that a needle attitude guarantees you much more than 12,000 years of samsara. Because if you're not taking your blindfold, then is infinite blindness. But that leaves us to another question. And the question is, what is happening here? What is these live transmissions? And it seems there's some confusion here. And there will always be confusion. It's unavoidable. But these live transmissions, they are not about securing students or disciples or whatever. That would be very naive. And naive, it's not something that it is possible now. But it would be naive because that would mean that there is no knowing about anything. So what is this? What is the point of this? Well, the point of this is for the sake of those who are distracted and have potential and have been distracted in these currents of make-believe uh, spiritual paths, make-believe seekers of truth. It is for those and for anyone who wants to, who can listen, who can take it, and to be able to have a real chance of beginning something alive, something real, your process to become alive and real. This is the point, to teach more or less what is a seeker of truth and what isn't. What is there that you can maintain and improve? What is there that has to be removed? And what is missing there that needs to be brought in? It is about this because it's just blindness after blindness and confusion, confusion, confusion. So this is the point. Because if this was about getting disciples and all of that, it wouldn't be like this. I would put the smiley face like you enjoy so much, and give you the sweet words and the nice words and all that you are waiting for. But but then everything had to be different, and it isn't. You see, because it's not a walk in the park. The seeker of truth path. It's not a walk in the park. It is difficult. It takes a lot of work and a lot of sacrifices, and you don't invite anyone for that. So if you haven't seen, there is no description about what you think I am, about this, no description in the website or whatever. What that body has done, where it has been, who is the lineage, who is the master, who is this, who is that. Nothing for you to relate at an individual level. And what I'm doing here, these lives and the way I'm speaking and explaining things, sometimes even bashing a little bit, but the way I'm explaining, I don't usually do that here personally. If you come here for satsang, it will not be this, because here I'm explaining in these live transmissions. I'm teaching you how to make your process alive so that you can start your spiritual journey, because it is a journey. To start that journey, that in a real way, then the journey leads. And if you have to come here or you have to go somewhere else, that is about guidance. The journey leads if it is alive. But if you come here, I will not be explaining you all these things. I will test what do you have, if you have what it takes. And if you don't have what it takes, I will not even answer, not much. It is different. So these ideas, choose, let's see the description and all of this, and you don't understand that this is very, very bad for you. Very bad, because you are putting yourselves in a position, or being put in a position, whatever it is, it is very unsuitable for a seeker of truth, that position. And the way you are evaluating and choosing and all of this, it is like choosing at that restaurant that, oh, so many dishes here, so which one so you will spend like 2 hours choosing your meal, and eventually, when you ask your food, there's no food left. But you chose like you thought there would be food available, plenty, but sometimes Sometimes it's not the case, and there's no food available. And if you had just taken what was there and trusted in what has taken you to the restaurant, that would be a much bigger improvement and would open a lot of doors that continue shut like this. You see that there is a lot of confusion and difficulties about masters, finding masters, those bad teachers that you talk about and all of that. But that's only possible because of the way that things are. And if it's not an awakened one, then it is a seeker of truth. So it is about you. It is always about the seeker of truth. If you're sincere, you will always get that which is possible. It's complicated because it's not that simple. But the thing is, if you're sincere, you will find something at your level. Will that mean that everything ends okay? No, because it is a journey, and there are certain things that you are willing to let go. There are things that you're not, but with time you can be willing to let go. But sometimes you reach a point where it is impossible to move on, and you go back to the current. It is like this. So there's nothing guaranteed. So this finding a master, it's not okay. So when I decide to go, when I make all my elaborations and I take my decision, that's it. No, it's not. It's just the beginning of a journey. Just the beginning of a journey. And if you really are concerned about the which master to go and all of this, prepare yourself and make yourself the best seeker of truth possible. Just go and see what are the qualities of a disciple. And by that, then evaluate, do I have these qualities? If I don't, so let me work on that. This is how you guarantee that you find something valuable. Because if you find it, it's not the end in itself. It's just the beginning of a journey, a different journey, the journey. And it has a lot of bumps in the way, a lot of difficulties. That is why the relationship has to be strong. Because if it's not strong, it cannot take the intensity. Where I found the good quality for the real seeker of truth, please. You're asking, I don't know if I understood correct, but you're asking where will you find the good qualities for the real seeker of truth? If this is the question, literature is available broadly. There is a lot of literature. You can find it online. You can find it in in, in libraries. It's easily available. What is a disciple? The relationship between a disciple and a master. What are the qualities of a disciple? And you can find this very easily. This is what guarantees, because your mind will, how do you say this in English? Mind will not hankering. No, it's not that. It's like it wants something that it finds interesting and it wants it. So it is the same with a master or something like this. And it is from here only. It is nothing, because when you reach to a master, he will test you, or else it's not a master. And if you don't have what it takes, you will not be able to continue. It is simple. If you have what it takes, there won't be any testing, even if everything is there. It all depends on who is coming. But that is the best way to make sure that you're on the right track. So this is what I'm explaining here, so that you can find your spiritual journey. And for that, intensify your spiritual practices, make your process alive. And if you persist in this, if you're sincere, if you work hard, directions will come for you. So this is the best way to secure. Because if you're not a seeker of truth, really, and if you are, but you're fragile, don't have the strength enough to condition, or you work some of that now and prepare yourself to handle difficult situations, or you will not succeed. For example, if you would come here and with these ideas, oh, I'm not good enough and I will be rejected, and at the same time with the expectation of being accepted, of finding something, you would find what you needed to find. You would find a closed face and not much interest. And that would be an opportunity for you to move beyond this. But could you take it? Possibly no. So this first work, this intense work, is a preparation which is quite important. Quite important. You see? The master may speak you. Imagine that you are blind, you are using a blindfold, and you're not looking, you cannot see the sun. You have never seen it. You don't know how it is. Do you think the master is the one that is making you lectures about the sun, how is to see the sun, how beautiful the sun is, how perfect is the sun, and all of that? Or is the one that will help you to take your blindfold? What is the point of talking about the sun if you are unable to see it and just sitting there with that blindfold and trapped in that situation? If there's a seeker of truth, there is the need, the will, the urge to remove the blindfold. And guidance guides that movement. It doesn't replace it. It guides that movement so that the movement can complete the task. And the sun is the sun, and the experience of seeing the sun is the same. And if you have a lot of fantasies about what is the sun and what you would like it to be and all of this, this will be put aside. And that's the difficult part, because in that blindness, those fantasies become very important. Because in a way, the sun will improve what needs to be improved, will infinite possibilities. And will these possibilities be nurtured? No, of course not. And those of you, this is complicated, because you need to realize that not finding something which is worthwhile, a master in this case, it is about you, it is because of you. And there are stories. This happens all the time. I've heard a story like this just a few days ago, of someone that finally, after years and years and years of searching, found the master. Oh, now I found him. He is a master that has very few disciples, lives far away, found it. And after a little while longer, it just continued to move around. It left the place. And I've listened to this a lot of times, even here. People come to me and complain about somewhere else and that it was not serious enough, and they are looking for something serious. Okay. But then, as things begin, they find that they do not fit there. So most of you that are criticizing these environments, you are not perceiving that. Okay, you know that that is wrong. Good. It is a beginning. But can you fit that which is right? And the majority cannot, because these movements that have been happening, all these, they have made seekers of truth unfitting. So what's left is some mental creations for experiences, some feeling good sensations, but the fire of the process, of the life of the process, guidance, is not there. So what it's left is that, and that doesn't have where to go. So eventually you find yourself just moving in circles. And people who are dedicated to this, that more or less dedicated their lives, which are moving from one place to another, they don't understand that they are the problem. They are the problem. And when this is why I was telling you, you need to prepare yourself to become a seeker of truth. That is what opens the door. Because if the door opens and you're not ready, you will not be able to grow in that. You will find out that you're the one who is not fitting that place. The majority who moves around places to places, in a way, they are expecting this, to find, and when they move to a new place, a new master, a new sangha, their vision is to see what is wrong with that place, with the people. First they are, oh, this seems to be good. But then, as they move, they don't even understand this. But they start to observe, to criticize, so that they can justify their lifestyle of moving around and searching. There was a story also about this that someone told me a few years ago. This was a very entertaining story about someone who was looking for God everywhere. He didn't stop, he didn't stay in no place, just was moving. And years he would come to a different town and just ask, do you know where God lives? And no, I don't know. And he would continue and continue and continue. And after years of making the same question, he got to a place. Someone was passing by and he asked, my friend, I have dedicated my life to the quest of finding God. Do you know where God lives? I said, yes, he lives there in that street. You see that house there? You just come inside, move up the stairs, and you will find him there. Oh, he was very happy, he was thrilled with that. See? So he went in a hurry. He got to the house. When he put his foot on the first step, he froze. Was completely frozen there, because in that moment he realized that if he found God, his life and his quest would disappear, would become meaningless. He would lose it. And he found in that moment that the quest was much more important than finding God. So what did he do? He went back, got out from that town, went to another town, and continued to ask the same question. So if you want to have a chance, go to the basics. It doesn't matter how sophisticated seeker you are and how many poetries your mind is making about the ultimate reality, how transcendental your look is and all of that. do yourself a favor, go back to the basics. See what are the qualities of a seeker of truth, and see it if they are there. Because if you're looking for guidance, you must develop these qualities, strengthen them, be worthy, ask for that guidance and for the strength so that you can be able to follow the guidance. Those qualities need to be there. They don't need to be all there, but whatever is there has to be strong to take it. See? If it is a teacher that is teaching you a philosophy, well, that is something else. But the ultimate journey, for that you need to be prepared. Yes, yes, that fire is really strong. A lot of pain comes. It is really hard to stay on the pot that the boiling is really hard. Till I feel exhausted, it is better not complain about it, but sometimes just to remain. What I gain like an hour sitting at one time is really hard. Yes, yes, exactly. It's like having a dream of a tiger. You become afraid, but if it's really a tiger, he will take care of me. I will have no choice of running. Yes, these are the ideas. See, we are starting to understand each other here. It is like this, yes. The fire is really strong, it is really intense, and a lot of things come. Uh, and a way, it is testing you and preparing you at the same time. So, the, one of the biggest qualities is to be able to persevere. I don't know, perseverance. I don't know if this is the English. Is it? Okay, thank you. Um, to be able to persevere, to maintain yourself, to uh, not giving up. This is very important because if this is there and it is strong, whatever is missing will be developed, will have to be developed, because if you're not quitting, then you have to develop this or else it won't be. And these ideas, what I was explaining is exactly this. Uh, you have the dream of the tiger, you become afraid, but then you think if it's really a tiger, it will take good care of me. It will be that father and mother that I didn't have. It will be that perfect relationship and all of this. And it will be a good relationship, the best one possible, the best one. But are you really ready? Because with those ideas, it will be a terror-like experience. Hmm? It is like this. Because all these fragilities, they will not let you, uh, because if it is direct guidance, inner guidance, well, these things cannot be there, or else there won't be any inner guidance. If the guidance comes from a master, a body, that you associate the master with the body, then these ideas, these visions of this person taking care of me, of God nice, protecting me, accepting me, taking care of me, this will be a nuisance, because when things are shown to you, what you need to remove, for example, you will take that as rejection and if you're tested with a bad face, oh, it's not, it cannot be real, because an enlightened master has a very nice face. It's always smiling, like the Joker, for example, from Batman. um, and it's not really like this. You just go back to the books. If that smile, you find it in a store, for example. Stores are full of smiles because they want to sell you something. Just an example. I'm not saying that it is all like this, but these ideas are very naive. And when things become serious, the last part when it becomes serious, the journey, it is about what you have learned, how much you have worked, and if you're ready to start removing the blindfold. Because the blindfold is too precious, and to remove it, you have to be on, it is above human effort. It's something that is above human. So for those of you who are criticizing all of these things, it is good. If you're seeing that things, it looks like a circus, you're seeing correctly. It is, it has become a circus. But where does that leave you? The majority leaves you in the opposite, strapped in their own egos and evaluating all of these things, sitting at the throne somewhere. But where does that leave you as a seeker of truth? And would you fit in that which is right? Would you? The majority wouldn't, because it has become a type of life, and this criticizing is just a way to justify what you're doing and that you're better off alone and all of this, and it is a justification. But if it is fine for you, then it is fine for you. I have no problem with that. I thought more like it would eat me, but I feel already in his jaw every time I move. It's really painful. Yes, it is like this. And from that fire, if it persists, then it will bring you all that is needed. But persistence has to be there. And it's not a walk in the park as you are seeing it, for example. And it will be like this at several levels, depending on how much you are attached to your blindfold. And a quick answer, say, oh no, but I'm not attached to this. I can just let go everything very easily. Let's see you do it. Let's see you do it, because unless you do it, and even to be able to do it without guidance, you have to be very, very, very observing and questioning everything that is arising there, so that you can have a little bit of a glimpse of what you're really doing, because you're the one who wants to tell lies and you're the one who wants to believe them. And if you're thinking that if you're wanting to know about who was my guru and my lineage and all of these things, so that you can feel better and all of this, forget about it, because here is a place of work, and work starts in the beginning. It's not a walk in a park, and this is not the point. If the fire brings you here, that is something else. But if you will be able to take it, well, we will have to see. But I'm not calling anyone, and I'm not giving any credentials also, because words speak from themselves. Energy speaks from itself, for itself. And if it is touching, it will be enough. So those who are looking for clues to elaborate here and create an image, and they will be disappointed. This is why there is nothing, no information available. Or it is touching and you are trying to listen and to feel it at other levels apart from here, then, so if any